We are in the new Museum of Ocean City, the former Bank of Ocean City building.
Restoring old buildings, it's more than just a restoration project. These old buildings really add character to a community. You know, they tell a story about what might have happened here.
Ocean City will now have 2 museums. Our visitors and our community can enjoy the Ocean City Life Saving Station Museum and now the Museum of Ocean City.
I'm Lisa Challenger, and I'm the director of the Beach to Bay Heritage Area.
I'm Michael Maykrantz, and the vice president of the Ocean City Museum Society here in Ocean City.
My name is Christine. I am the curator at the Ocean City Life Saving Station Museum and now also at the new Museum of Ocean City.
I think our museums are very, very important. You know, I think they're important to the residents, to those that have lived here all their lives, many of them, and I think it's important that the history is preserved. But in Ocean City, I think we're really unique because people that have come to Ocean City, maybe just as longtime visitors or those that have relocated here, bought second homes, or then retired here or moved here permanently, they have a certain compassion about Ocean City. Everybody feels like it's their place. And I think they're very, interested in the history of Ocean City.
As time went on, I started to realize that a lot of important things, buildings, events, folks that really helped build the town were slowly going away.
That's why we're there. That's why we're on the board. It's why we're at the museum, is to take challenges and turn them into realities. And so that's what the board did when we got a lot of help. We got grants. We got, as you know, a lot of individuals who have been successful around Ocean City and could afford to help, kicked in $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. And I think we raised, $500,000 for that, got $500,000 in grants. So it was expensive, but look at the result that we have.
It really does put in my mind that it's a race against time, not only for the buildings, but the people that represented Ocean City from the beginning, the pioneers who helped build the town to what it is today. Very fortunate the Bank of Ocean City was gracious enough to grant the space, give the space to the Ocean City Museum Society, which launched a joint project between the town of Ocean City, the Museum Society. We were able to get some state grant funding, Maryland Historical Trust, things like that, and put the parts all together and make this museum a second museum for Ocean City, which is an expanded history of what the Life Saving Station started and built on.
They really tell a story that matters to the downtown, which is where we are, and what this used to be and how it played a role in the community. And so saving these old buildings is really important. It just really adds to the entire charm and likability of a community. It lends authenticity. It really gives you a feeling and a sense of who this community is.
In 1875, Hampton H. DeShiel was one of many stakeholders who financed the construction of Ocean City's first hotel, the Atlantic Hotel. As a benefit of their investment, stockholders were promised a plot of land. One by one, a blindfolded boy drew the stockholders' names from a jar. Upon hearing his name called out, Hampton H. DeShiel chose Lot 48, a plot of land located on the northeast corner of Dorchester Street and Baltimore Avenue. DeShiel's efforts were directed at conducting business in Princess Anne, Maryland, leaving Lot 48 untouched for several years. In 1894, DeShiel filed for bankruptcy, causing the ownership of Lot 48 to go to DeShiel's bankruptcy estate trustees. One of DeShiel's sons purchased Lot 48 from his late father's estate in 1898 for $250, only to sell it 9 years later to Robert Powell. Less than a year later, Powell sold the lot to a young entrepreneur from Berlin, Maryland, named Charles A. McGregor.
Charlie was a local Berlin guy, young guy, entrepreneurial spirit, and he decided that he wanted to open a general store in Ocean City, and the town was slowly developing into that time. This is 1908. He purchased the land for $2,200. The parcel had never been built on, it was undeveloped. He obtained financing and built a general store and apartments above, and it was very successful for a couple of years. There was a lot of rentals, a lot of people that lived in the building, and there was a demand for rentals, just kind of like there is currently. And he was very successful for a couple of years. He dated the police chief's daughter, and she was involved with business as well. But after, by 1913, he was unable to sustain the business. The town was still very seasonal, small winter year-round population, and he was forced to sell the building, which is bought by the original investors of the Bank of Ocean City, which occupied the space for over 100 years.
In 1931, the Bank of Ocean City faced challenging times as the U.S. economy slid into the Great Depression. The state bank examiner closed the Bank of Ocean City when they discovered that most of its shares came from the fishing industry, which was struggling to stay afloat. The bank was also facing another hurdle with bonds losing value. The bank reopened its doors in 1933. Following the end of World War II, Bank President L.D. Lynch decided that the Bank of Ocean City building needed a new look. During the winter of the 1946 and spring of 1947, the building dramatically changed inside and out. The second floor porch was removed and replaced with large, stately columns. A brick facade was added, covering the original decorative concrete blocks. The interior received a new vault, 6 teller desks, new furniture, and additional lighting. L.D. Lynch, the owner of the building, passed away on July 4, 1965, leaving the Dorchester Street property to his 3 children. The siblings sold the property to the Bank of Ocean City in 1986. The Bank of Ocean City stood as the sole bank on the island for over 43 years. In 1960, Taylor Bank, a local bank in Berlin, Maryland, opened a branch on 20th Street and Baltimore Avenue, introducing new competition. However, this did not deter the Bank of Ocean City's growth. By the mid-2000s, the Bank of Ocean City had 6 locations, branching out to West Ocean City and Berlin, Maryland. In 2019, the Bank of Ocean City closed its downtown branch. However, this closure was not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter.
The Bank of Ocean City, I mean that's an iconic building in Ocean City. So the fact that to take over this building and to restore the building and retain the exterior, retain so much of that building. And when you walk inside, it was like they built around everything that was there. And they've opened it up, of course, and they've changed it from the bank. But you can still tell it's a bank with the vault, with the different things that are there. Just everything about it, you can tell, the ceilings, the walls, it feels like downtown Ocean City. So not only are you walking into a place that's displaying or part of the history, it feels like you're in downtown Ocean City, and I think that makes it really special.
The new Museum of Ocean City is going to add tremendously to the downtown. It's situated in a great spot where lots of foot traffic will be able to stop in, and it gives people more to do. It gives them options beyond the boardwalk, and I think that there will be a really great relationship of cross-promoting between the staff at the Life Saving Museum and here to make sure go visit there, and those folks that are there, make sure you go visit here. And I do think people are looking for those options.
So we'll have an exhibit on the history of hotels and restaurants. We're going to hone in on downtown Ocean City, the 30s through the 70s. We will have an exhibit that focuses on this building's history, when it was a bank and when it was McGregor's grocery store. And then we will also have a Native American exhibit, Indigenous Peoples and Native Wildlife, that will focus on the tribes that were here in Ocean City and on Assateague. We will also afford people, the community, an opportunity to do research here. So any community member can make an appointment with our assistant curator and secure a space in our research library, which is located on the second floor. In the Museum of Ocean City, you're going to see a wide variety of artifacts from Worcester County, specifically from Ocean City. There are some whalebone fragments that have been identified by the Smithsonian to be 10,000 years old. You know, you have that artifact all the way to more current day, the Beach Plaza. We have a telephone booth that once functioned in Beach Plaza. So the artifacts are vast. Our ribbon cutting was really a full circle moment because it was what we envisioned, right? People coming in, being able to celebrate. We happen to be celebrating the restoration of this project, but it was just a snapshot of what's to come.
You know, this truly is a community project, and it was something that everybody in this room probably played a role in, and it's going to be a terrific asset for the future of Ocean City. So we want to begin with thanking everybody.
This is a big day for all of us, because to me, when we say the Museum of Ocean City, what we're really saying, it's the story of Ocean City.
If anything, this building represents the dedication we all have to preserving and celebrating this town's history. I just want to thank everyone for their support.
I think with the Ocean City Museum, the community is a huge asset because it's Ocean City.
This was truly a community project. There were several key players at play in bringing this project to fruition. We have the president of the Bank of Ocean City, Reed Tingle, who was willing to donate this building to the town. The town of Ocean City was also a key player. They took on ownership of the building. John Fager and Nancy Howard had the vision for what to do with this space.
You have to know where you've been to know where you are and where you're going. And then I think a lot of the people that come here get to see those little pieces of old Ocean City and are interested in the history and interested in when it was the railroad came here and it was hard to get here and it was hard to spend the night and it was a short season. And you know how all that worked compared to today.
So I remember this. How many people do you hear say that? I remember when. And telling the next generation about Ocean City. Have a place where they can take their families or people can go in, even those that maybe aren't familiar with Ocean City, and really learn about our past and how we evolved from a fishing community, you know, to a very small resort to where we are today. I think the story is fascinating, and I think being able to display the history is extremely important.
It would have been so easy just to say, well, tear it down. You know, it's just too hard, it's too much trouble, it's too expensive. You know, we don't want to give up the beach. All the objections that floated, you know, with saving a lot of these buildings. You know, it's too hard, it's too expensive. And then look what we have now. We have an important piece of what Ocean City was like when it first started.
The museum and an opportunity for the younger generation to experience a museum atmosphere and to experience the history of Ocean City, because I think they'll become enthralled with it just as we were. Because when you look at the pictures and you go, well, where was that? Well, this was here now. You know, how did that happen? You know, to get the curiosity flowing in some of the younger generations to really understand it and be curious about what it was and how it got to be where it is. I think that'll help maintain and carry that history forward, and I think that's extremely important.